Okay, so in this video we're going to cover AI-powered workflows. So now, before this we discussed, just ChatGPT, how to use ChatGPT itself for various tasks, things you'd want to do with it. Now we're going to discuss take the kind of the next step up, where you could kind of take ChatGPT, take that ability to kind of recognize text and do things with it, and see where can you put it into a workflow and accomplish other things that before ChatGPT existed were not really possible, because there was always that one step that you needed a person in there. Those would be AI-powered workflows. Some people like to refer to these as AI agents. I personally think the term is overused, or whatever you want, personal preference. Okay, so now with this particular workflow is I'm going to, as an example here of what you could be doing, is you go to a conference, we're at H3, you got a bunch of business cards. Now, those cards, for you to enter those into your CRM, or if you don't have a CRM, into your contacts, it takes time. You have to sit there manually, you read off what's the name, put it into the name field, what's the person's title, their phone number, their email, minute or two each. But if you're coming back with 20 cards, that's 20 minutes, half an hour. Maybe that's 20 minutes, half hour, maybe even 40 minutes. Just a lot of time for a very rote, easy task. Now, so my solution to that was, hey, I said, ChatGPT could read a business card. You give it the image of a business card, it could tell you every field that's in it. So what if we built that into something that let me kind of connect ChatGPT to my CRM, and then on the other end, some way to give it to ChatGPT so that it can put the card straight into my CRM. So what I built, I use this website. It's called Make.com. That's what this is over here. So Make.com it's a website for making, appropriately, workflows that connect different services together. So each of these circles is what's called a module. It represents a distinct piece of this workflow, which starts over here, runs through these, and ends over here at the Zoho CRM. So what each step does is as follows. So this is called a webhook. This essentially is just a custom email address, and then any information that comes in an email to that email address can then be sent on and used in other modules further down. So then we go to what's called an iterator. Now this is, as the shape suggests, of one arrow going in, being split into four smaller ones. It basically essentially just takes what comes in. If there's multiple items coming in, breaks them up into individual flows for the rest of it. Meaning it'll send, if an email comes in here with 5 attachments, so let's say I had 5 business cards, I would attach them all to an email, send them through this webhook, send them to the email address of this webhook. Now there's 5 attachments. So the problem is ChatGPT can only handle one image at a time through the API, which is how it's connected. In your phone, on your app, it could handle 5 images at a time, but in this scenario, it can't. So what the iterator does is it kind of says, oh, there's 5 business cards, so let me send 5 attachments. Let me send each business card, down the pipe to ChatGPT one at a time. So he sends it down, it goes to the rest, and then when that finishes, it goes back to here, sends the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So you get everything processed. So again, we have our business cards. They come in. I take our business cards, we send them in via email as attachments. They get pushed into the iterator, where it gets broken up into, if there's multiples, it gets broken up into each one into kind of like its own separate flow. And then each one again is sent to ChatGPT. At this point, ChatGPT has been given these instructions here. You are an AI assistant that extracts structured data from an image of a business card. And then I tell it the format to put it into, and then I give an example of how the output should look. Okay, so then we take that, and that is now what it also gets sent in. It gets sent these instructions, and it also gets sent an image. And that image is the image file, which is from whatever the file that's coming in from the iterator, and so that'll be different each time. Okay, I specified the model. Okay, now that result comes in. That result comes in as a block of text that looks, again, something like this. Now, that's going to be sent into Zoho CRM, which, because that's one I use personally, into the leads module, and then you have to define the new lead with the last name, a company, a first name, email, phone, etc. So now the problem is that what's coming out of ChatGPT is one big block of text. How are you splitting that into last name, company, first name, email, and phone? There's no way it's just one big block of text. So that's where the JSON parser comes in. All it does is it breaks every item in that block of text. The reason I use the format that it's in is because this over here can handle that text and break it into individual components. So as I mapped it out, first name, last name, phone number, email, company name, whatever information you want it to do, you have ChatGPT put it out in that format, and then this can kind of break it into distinct pieces, which can then be mapped to the fields of the Zoho CRM. And then, once that's done, this module takes those fields, bundles them together, and sends it to Zoho CRM and adds it to my CRM as a new lead. So, to show you a demonstration, well, there shouldn't be any unsafe changes, so we'll discard changes. And now I prepped this email in advance. It's to business card, that's that email address. Business card to CRM is how I labeled it in context, so I don't have to remember this massive string. And then I didn't add any subject or content because none of that's getting processed in this particular flow. And then I attached to it this image, which I took on my phone, I used for this example, I used my business card. Okay, so now I send this email. Yes, I send it anyway, there's no subject. Now we could go here and we can watch, there's no one, this is my CRM to Davia, there's nothing in there. We could see it just got in, it just got sent in, it got sent through the whole flow. And now, if we go back to this leads page and we refresh, we have a brand new lead. Arnold Zlotowicz, company Shui, azlotowicz.com. Here's my phone number. And here we go. So that is an example of an AI workflow. You could come up with your own ideas, and there are platforms like this, there's Zapier, there's other platforms that make it very easy to kind of put these things together. You can even use ChatGPT with the web search, you can see that video if you haven't watched it yet, to kind of help you put together the flow. Meaning you tell you, which module should I use? Or if you're doing it, you kind of run into an issue and you're like, I don't know how to continue. You could ask it, I'm having this issue, and it'll check the documentation for you and tell you what you should be doing or what's going wrong.